right. Did you guys enjoy that? I know we kind of forgot it from a long time ago, but did you have fun with that? And
yeah, I had fun.
you did very good, Justin. Very good. I'm glad you had fun. So now, guess what? Can anybody guess what's going to happen next? Well, guess what? Today we have Mr. Fred Horge, who's going to read his book to us. And you know what? This book is so interesting. It's something that we can all relate to. It's about a little boy who's finding the motivation, facing fear. But follow up for girls too, right? Don't girls have fears too? Well, all right, everybody, show me your spirit fingers as we get ready to welcome in Mr. Fred. Yay!
Hi.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me today. And I'm so excited to read Schoolyard Olympics, Volume 1, Johnny's Big Race. So I'm going to share my screen now so we can see the book, and we're going to jump right into it. All right. So here we go. Johnny and his friend Malcolm T. Aaron arrived at the same time. Johnny just got home from church Sunday evening, and Maxwell's parents just picked him up from hockey practice. Maxwell was a great hockey player, but Johnny was not so great. He wanted to play good so bad. His father told him that everyone has their own abilities. You just have to find what you like. Later that night, Johnny asked his mother, "What are abilities?" Mother explained, "Abilities are what make people special. It is what makes everyone different. You will soon discover yours in due time. Get ready for bed. You have school tomorrow." Johnny's father drove him to school. Maxwell met Johnny in the front of the school. Maxwell told Johnny that today is the class Olympics. The boys were so excited, they ran to class. After lunch, Johnny's class headed to the track for the big event. Johnny's teacher worked with other preschool teachers to place cones around the field, and then they explained how the race will go. The class lined up, and the teacher yelled, "On your mark, get set, go!" Then everyone started running as fast as they could. Johnny pulled ahead, coming around the last cone. With his eyes watering from the wind, he blazed across the finish line. "Hooray!" the crowd screams. Now Johnny is crowned the fastest in his preschool class. A little girl from Miss Cohn's preschool class chants, "Johnny is the best," over and over as students lined up to return to their classes. As Johnny takes his seat, the teacher congratulates him again and informs everyone that Johnny qualifies for the school Olympics. He will have a race again tomorrow. He goes on to say that if Johnny wins the next race, their class would have an ice cream party. Johnny didn't know he would have to race again, and now he is nervous because everyone is depending on him to win for the ice cream party. Johnny was excited his dad was picking him up. He could not wait to tell him all about the race. Once they were in the car, Johnny told his dad all about his victory. Dad had him tell the story again and again, and they laughed every time. As they got closer to their home, Johnny told Dad about his next race and how he was nervous because everyone was depending on him so they could have an ice cream party. Johnny's dad understood why his son was nervous, but he knew that Johnny was strong enough to overcome his fear to win the race. Once they parked in the driveway, Johnny's dad stepped out of the car and looked directly into his eyes and said, "The only thing you need to remember is that you are the best." "I have faith in you," Johnny smiled. "I have faith in you," and Johnny smiled. All night long, Johnny couldn't sleep. He tossed and turned, wondering if the other guys would be faster than him. Finally, Johnny remembered what his dad said. "Johnny, you are the best." Soon, Johnny was fast asleep. That morning, Johnny jumped out of bed, feeling energized. He got dressed and had breakfast like every other morning. After breakfast, Johnny's mom asked him, "Are you ready for the big race?" Johnny looked at Mom directly in her eyes, then smiled and gave her a wink. His mom knew he was ready for the race. On the way to school, Johnny's dad talked to him about his math homework, art project, and even the church picnic. Johnny thought his dad must have forgotten all about his big race. As they drove up to the school, Johnny jumped out of the car, and just before he closed the door, his dad said, "Wait." Johnny stopped, and Dad reminded him, "When race time comes, remember, you are the best." Johnny's face lit up with excitement, knowing that his dad didn't forget about the big race. When Johnny walked into school, he saw the same little girl from yesterday, and she was smiling and started chanting, "Johnny is the best." Johnny could hear her all the way down the hall. Johnny was having a great day, but it was almost lunchtime when the teacher reminded everyone that after lunch, Johnny would be racing a kindergartner during recess, and the winners class will have an ice cream party later today. Johnny had a very surprised look on his face because he didn't know he was racing a kindergartner. It was too late to be nervous again. The class was leaving for lunch, and recess comes right after lunch. Johnny knew it would be time to race shortly. During lunch, all of Johnny's classmates kept telling him not to worry because he was the fastest kid in the whole school. Everyone kept smiling at Johnny, and he smiled back because he knew they had faith he could win. Lunch was over. The whole school headed to the track and field. Johnny walked to the field to the sound of his own heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. Johnny's teacher signals him to come to the starting line. Johnny hurries to the line. He is tired of waiting, and he just wants the race to start so it can be over. When the kindergartner walked to the starting line, Johnny notices how tall he is. Johnny's heart starts to beat faster and his stomach starts to get butterflies. Just then, Johnny remembers what his dad told him. Johnny, you are the best. Johnny gets into starting position. His dad's words ring loud in his head. Johnny, you are the best. It was so loud that Johnny forgets how tall his opponent is. And so loud he forgets he is racing a kindergartner. Just then, the teacher yells, "On your mark, get set, go!" Johnny jumps off the starting line like a ball of fire, flying from cone to cone. He never looked back. Johnny can feel his opponent getting closer as they come around the final turn. Johnny begins to concentrate harder and harder, and he begins to run faster and faster. Johnny knows it will be close, so he sticks his neck out and leans forward toward the finish line. Johnny crosses the finish line. His teacher and classmates run up and give him high fives and hugs, but because of all of the excitement, Johnny's not sure if he won the race or not. His teacher says, "Congratulations, Johnny, you won the race by a nose." Johnny is relieved. Then Johnny is picked up unexpectedly by his dad. "Congratulations, Johnny, you did it. You won the race." Johnny says, "Dad, I thought you were at work." Johnny's dad replies, "I wouldn't miss your big race for anything in the world." Johnny and his dad laugh and laugh as they fall on the ground in celebration. Johnny's dad said, "Let's go home so you can tell your mom all about it." On the way, Johnny sees the little girl waving and chanting, "Johnny is the best," over and over again. His father looks over and says, "See, everybody knows you're the best, Johnny." Johnny's face lights up with delight. Johnny won his school Olympics, track and field, gold medal. And that's the end.
Yay!
Thanks, guys, so much for listening. I see all of the hand claps.
Yay!
So, does anyone have any questions about the story we just heard?
Does anybody have any questions?